And No Man's Sky, the Normandy Redux Expedition 2 has just become available, and again like the last one, it's only running for 2 weeks, so this one ends on the 21st of November. But before starting the expedition, it's advised to go to as many pirate stations as you can. So once you've loaded into your save, go to your teleporter and go to the pirate stations. They're indicated with a little skull. Then go to the contraband agent and pick up as many suspicious packets, arms and trade. Then head back to the teleporter and go to another pirate space station and repeat that process as much as you can. Now it's time to head to the anomaly and start the expedition. Double check that the ship and the multi-tool that you want to take with you is active, and don't forget to turn multiplayer off and make sure that PvP is off as well. Then head to the kiosk to start the expedition. I'm transferring some tech, but you don't actually have to in this expedition. But it's always worth taking some materials with you to reduce the grind, so it's a much more enjoyable expedition. And remember, you won't have access to the anomaly until you've made your first warp drive jump. And this is at double speed. If you want to slow it down to see all the materials that I brought with me, you can do so. But as usual, status devices for units is always useful. 2 sets of suspicious packets, arms and weapons to convert into nanites so you can get your ship and your multi-tool. And by doing that, you will have reduced the grind and made the expedition a lot more pleasant. And of course, by also using the kiosk, everything you've earned through the expedition will transfer over to your main save, therefore it's not a dead save. And as you can see, in this expedition, you start inside a freighter. And you'll also find in this expedition that all your milestones will not pop in order, so I can't really break this one into chapters or phases. In your freighter you should have some grow rooms, so go and collect some carbon and various other bits that you can get right away. You'll also find that you've started with quite a lot of materials and you've got to repair your freighter. So select away team milestone and head to a planet. When you go outside, the first thing you want to do is look for some asteroids and start shooting at them. It might be worth selecting the Stardust milestone so you can see the counter. But once you've got the Stardust milestone, head straight to the space station. And don't forget to pop the milestones as you go along. When you leave the space station, you don't want the planet straight in front of you. You actually want to go to the planet that's behind that one, so go round it. And you want to keep the ship in the same position that my ship is at this moment in time. And you want to head to that section of the planet with that landmass. Don't land on the planet straight away, shoot lots of stuff and spend a bit of time just shooting at the ground. And those numbers there are quite important, keep an eye on that, you want to be roughly in that number range. And the reason those numbers are important is because of the nearby freighter. This is the precise planetary coordinates for this freighter, but hopefully you'll be able to see the base that I'm going to construct at this location. But unfortunately, in expeditions they don't always appear. Interact with the freighter ball, you'll also get the milestone for landing on the planet. Look for a nearby copper deposit. And start farming the hydrogen, ferret dust, find a cave to get some cobalt, shoot lots of plants to get carbon, and one of the plants on this planet also gives you oxygen, and you'll also be able to mine for pure ferrite as well. Also scan 3 animals, and that will give you another milestone. and scan as many plants on this planet as well that will contribute to that milestone at a later date. When you finally get to the location for the copper, start mining that. And if you didn't bring any materials with you, you'll have to spend a lot more time doing all this mining. I put down a portable refiner, but you actually do have a personal refiner, so use that instead. But you want to spend some time making some chromatic metal. And of course, don't forget to collect your milestones as you go along. And there's that crash freighter milestone, collect that one, as it will give you some useful upgrades. And of course, as promised, I'm going to put down a base computer. I really do hope you can see it, but you have the planet coordinates from earlier for the location of this crash freighter. And of course, I'm going to call it Crash Freighter. It's also worth digging up the cargo pods and collecting the materials for that while you're here. But before leaving the planet, make sure you've got all the materials to fix your hyperdrive. And make sure you got enough materials to build quite a few warp cells. If you didn't use the kiosk, make quite a few more than I'm going to, which means spending a lot more time on the planet, farming and crafting. You can also collect a lot of ancient bones if you didn't bring units with you as well. Get into your ship and take off, but don't leave the planet just yet, because you want to select the Grand Tour milestone, go into photo mode and then take a picture. Once you've taken that picture, you can now leave the planet, and you want to head to that life incompatible planet. Don't land on the planet, just get close to the surface, go into photo mode and take a picture. Now you can head back into space and call in your freighter. Install the tech from your milestone that you got earlier and repair your freighter hyperdrive. Then head to your freighter flight deck. Head to the freighter warp map. And then jump straight to the rendezvous point. If it's not highlighted, make sure you've selected the milestone to go to the next rendezvous. The system only has 2 planets, but one's a freezing planet. That will be useful in a minute. Remember to collect your milestones. And you can buy upgrades here for your freighter at this point, but you don't really have to. Best to save that for when you transfer it to your main save. But we do have to build a storage room, so we can build that now. And that's the supercargo milestone done. Okay, time to head down to our ship. Head outside and head to the space station. Land the space station, get out of your ship, and then leave the space station. This is where I got the aviator's milestone. You might have got it earlier or a bit later. Make sure the rendezvous point is selected and then head to the rendezvous point. When you land the planet, don't get into your ship, just go into camera mode and take your final picture. And that's the Grand Tour milestone done. Of course, when you're on this planet, remember to scan as many planets as you can, but this planet doesn't have many plants, so you might not get that milestone just yet. Of course, the rendezvous point is a portal. Don't forget to collect your milestones as you go along, especially the rendezvous ones, because they give you 1,000 nanites. But don't upgrade your exosuit, just leave that because you want to take them back to your main save when you're finished. But that only works if you use the kiosk to start the expedition. Now you can head into space and call in the anomaly. You can now go to the kiosk and collect all the materials that you brought with you. Of course, install the mods if you brought any with you. Open your suspicious packages. Take them to this guy here, but he doesn't always allow you to sell them to him. So if that's the case, head to the teleporter and go to the space station that you visited earlier. It should be the one in the current system. And now you should be able to sell your suspicious package mods to the vendor up there. Of course, the quantum form milestone has just popped for me because I sold all those mods, but don't worry, visiting all the rendezvous points will give you this milestone later on in the game. I'm also going to sell my status devices and anything else I don't want. And I'm also going to buy some wiring looms. And a magnetic resonator for any of the traders who fly into the space station. And for me, I'm going to leave the space station, call in the anomaly, head inside, head to the kiosk, and create my multi-tool and the spaceship that I brought with me. And I also have all the materials now to fix my atmospheric control unit. And I also have the materials to fix my matter beam. You don't actually have to fix that, but it annoys me that it's broken. I can now collect all hands on deck milestone. And head upstairs on my freighter to get the drop protocol milestone by building an exocraft materializer. And that's everything in phase 1. After collecting all the milestones, you'll actually get the materials for later phases, so it's quite important to collect all the milestones in this expedition. As we now have the plan to construct the scanner room, so let's build that. Once we've built that, we can go downstairs and then leave the freighter. And head to the contaminated planet, the one with the gamma root on it. Land on the planet and start scanning some plants. And that will give you the Engine of Life milestone. You want to do the Interstellar Rescue milestone now, and these planetary charts is a reward from a previous milestone, so pop one of them, but you can replace them in the space station if you've accidentally deleted them. Once you pop them, you should have a distress beacon pointing to where you want to go. If you didn't get the distress beacon, simply reload your restore point save and you can pop them up again. And these maps will also lead you to a crash freighter if you didn't manage to get that earlier. When you get there, go and talk to the guy, then fix his ship. When his ship's fixed, go and talk to him again. And that milestone's done. Then head back to your freighter. Make sure the next rendezvous point milestone is selected and then jump to that rendezvous point. When we get there, the planet that we're looking for is the Arctic planet, the frost crystal one. So leave the freighter and head to the space station. Simply get in and out of your ship and then leave the space station. When you left the space station, just head to the Arctic planet. And we want to head to a part that's got a loss of water. Land near or on top of the water if you can. If you haven't got it installed, install your fishing rig. And you'll notice if you don't put any bait on your fishing rod, you're going to make this task a little bit more difficult than it's already going to be. Remember, when you caught a fish, the line will go straight, that's the point you pull out. But under the quick menu, you'll have access to your bait box, attach some bait. I'm going to attach some carbon. The instructions are a little bit confusing. It's not all the blue and purple ones that count, but quite a few of them. So make no mistake, you're going to be doing this for quite some time, between 10 and 20 minutes at least. But eventually you will get all 5 of those bloody fish. And that's the Icy Veins milestone complete. So collect that milestone and then click on Rendezvous 2. Then head into space and head to the Rendezvous planet. Again, the rendezvous location is another portal. But don't leave this planet. Get in your ship and fly low, and then use your pulse to locate any nearby buildings. And as soon as you see a building, fly low enough so you can see if it's got the flag post. When it's got the flag post, land next to it. Go and collect the save beacon and chart. Get back in your ship, take off again, and then pulse, and then keep looking and scanning for nearby buildings. Then repeat the same process that you did in the previous one. Then you're going to take off and you're going to have to do this a further 3 times until you get the signs to nowhere milestone. Now you can leave the planet, call in the anomaly, head to the back of the anomaly and talk to this guy here. You can present him with all the fishes that you caught earlier. This is quite a laborious and boring thing to do. So if you've got all the nanites you need, you don't have to do this, just sell your fishes at the space station. Okay, I've left the anomaly and I'm heading towards the scalding planet. Of course, I've made some creature pellets. Then I'm going to use the quick menu so I can drop the creature pellets at the feet of the creature and not feed them directly. As dropping the creature pellets means you attract more creatures, and then once they've eaten it, you collect the poo. So I have quite a few creature pellets, and then when you drop them, and they've eaten some of it, sometimes it's worth walking away from them so they follow you so you can walk back to collect the poo. Then leave the planet, call in your freighter. Now you've got the materials to build a double cultivation chamber, and you'll get the Air We Breathe milestone. Now it's time to build the fleet command room. If you've got the materials, you can build 3 of them if you want. Interact with one of them so you get the frigate fuel recipes. Then of course craft some frigate fuel. Then it depends on how you want to play the next section. You don't actually have to do this, but I'll show you what to do anyway. Leave the freighter and then pulse for a little bit, head towards the space station. And then when you drop out a pulse, you'll probably find that a freighter fleet had just warped in. And if you've got enough units, you can go around that freighter fleet buying up all the frigates that you need to buy. And you'll need various types for various tasks to send out on missions. But like I said, you don't actually have to do that, so I'll show you what you can do instead. And it also means that you don't have to wait from 8 to 24 hours for the freighters to come back. So go back to your command desk and talk to that guy there. You should have 1 freighter if you didn't do what I just showed you. Send that 1 freighter out on any mission you want, it doesn't matter. Go to the fleet command station, abort the expedition, interact with the fleet command station again, debrief the commander, and end the expedition. And as you can see, that's completed one of the fleet expeditions. Then head back to that guy and send your ship out on another mission. Remember, it doesn't matter which one, as long as you've got enough fuel, you'll be okay. Interact with the fleet command station, abort the expedition, interact with it again, debrief the commander, and end the expedition. Of course, you simply repeat that process one more time, but as I've got more than one frigate, I've got a whole set over there, off on a mission, so I'm just going to go up and end that expedition and complete this milestone. And that's called by the stars, milestone complete. And if you leave this expedition quite late, at least you'll be able to do this one in seconds instead of having to wait 24 hours, and the whole expedition might end by then. Okay, that's Rendezvous 3 selected, so let's go into the star map and head there. Of course, when we're warped into the system, get into your ship and head to the space station. But this time, instead of leaving the space station, go around and talk to all the aliens collecting languages, and that will give you the lingua file, Milestone. Then head to the map guy and pick up some purple maps. I only picked up 3. I strongly advise you to pick up 10. It will save you a lot of hassle a bit later on. Now you can leave the space station and head to the rendezvous planet. As usual, the rendezvous point is a portal. Remember, when you collect all your rewards, you don't have to upgrade your ship or your multi-tool or your exosuit. You can keep them because you want to take them back to your main save at the end. Then head back to your ship, get in and out your ship to make a restore point save. Pop a purple planetary artifact site map. What you're looking for is either a plaque or a rune. So when you've got that, just head there. Simply interact with it, and that'll be that milestone done. And just so you know how it's done, if you pop a map and it's not what you want, go to your restore point save and restore that. And that'll take you to the last point where you got in and out of your ship. Okay, the next thing I want to do is dig up buried treasure items. And that planet I was on was far too stormy, so I'm going to have to find a different planet. And this decaying nuclear planet with the ancient bones and the gamma root, that's the one I want to head to, so I'll go there. And because that milestone selected, it will automatically go into the sweep scanner mode. Then I just have to follow the direction it's telling me to go, and when I get close enough, it will reveal the item that I need to dig up. There's the first bit of buried treasure, let's dig it up. Once it's dug up, the sweep scanner will start looking for the next location. Of course, you only have to do this 3 times. And the third bit of treasure that you dig up, you'll get the one man's treasure, Milestone. Then I'm heading back into space and I'm heading back to the space station. I can now sell any of the treasures that I dug up and anything I don't want, and then I can buy some chlorine. There should be chlorine at this space station at this rendezvous point. But if the chlorine's not here, don't worry, just get some salt and oxygen, refine it together, and that'll make you chlorine. But now we have the materials that we can build the amino chamber. We can leave the space station, go into space, calling a freighter, and then land on a freighter. We can delete one of the flight command rooms, and then we can build the teleporter chamber. And that's across infinity, milestone done. Okay, Uncharted Milestone. At this point in the game, for me, it's not too difficult. The later you leave this, the more difficult this milestone is going to be. As you'll see, when I get in my ship and then leave my ship and then go into space and jump to a system, when you get to the system, what you're going to find later in the game is more and more systems are going to be discovered by more and more people. There's a lot of people that play this game, so there's going to be a lot of systems nearby that's going to be discovered. So even though I can jump to another system and the likelihood of me finding an undiscovered system is quite high, for you, it's going to be quite low. Even though when I jump to this system, there's a freighter battle going on right now. I have just discovered this system, I just have to get far enough away so it logs properly. And there you go, I've discovered one of 8 systems. For you, the chances of this happening are going to be really, really low. So this milestone is probably going to be the most frustrating milestone in the whole of this expedition. So even though I don't actually have to do this, you might have to. What you're going to have to do is disconnect yourself from the internet while you do this milestone. This means you will no longer be connected to the online server discovery map, so therefore all discoveries won't be on your system. And when you look at the discoveries map, you'll know that you're disconnected because it'll have the little red circle in the bottom left corner. Then on your platform, you'll be able to discover all these things freely. And then when you've reconnected your platform, you won't override anyone else's discoveries, but you still have got the milestone. But as you can see for me, I was able to get this milestone even though I was connected to the internet because I was able to play this quite early on. Now I can select the Rendezvous 4 milestone and we can head there. Of course, as soon as you get in the system, head straight towards the space station and get in and out of your ship. Then leave the space station and head to the rendezvous planet. Again, it's another portal, so head close to the portal to pop the milestone. If you don't need to, keep all your upgrades so you can transfer at the end of the expedition. And then select Rendezvous 5 and head into space. Then jump to that rendezvous point. Head to the space station and then get in and out of your ship. Leave the space station and head to the rendezvous planets. And when you land there, you'll find it's another portal, get close to it, and that will trigger the Rendezvous 5 milestone. And if you did what I didn't do, you won't have to go back to the space station to collect more maps. But it might be worth going back to the space station just so you can pop the map on the space station so you end up in the same planet as I do. Because when I popped the map and left the space station, the alien monolith was on the airless planet, which is going to make life so much easier. So either way, head to the airless dead planet and pop the maps there if you need to. Head to the monolith and interact with it. And if the task for McNarder, the top one, isn't highlighted, make sure you've selected the milestone to make sure it's highlighted to interact with it to do this. Then pop another purple map to find the next location. And this time it's an ancient plaque, so let's head there. Interact with it again. Pop another purple map to find the next location. It was a ruin this time, so let's head there. Then interact with that to get the milestone, which will reveal what the next milestone is going to be. So what we have to do is go and get a myth beacon from the anomaly. So go into space and call in the anomaly and head inside. Speak to the Quicksilver merchant. Create exotic items from Quicksilver. Then tab along to other curiosities. Then buy the myth beacon. Get in your ship and leave the anomaly and go into the galactic map. And if the next milestone is selected, it will show you the path to the next location. When you've walked to the system, head towards the planet. My location was near this boundary failure, so going to interact with this, I don't think you have to. But what you do have to do is pop the myth beacon and be close to your ship when you do so, as this is the only chance you're going to get to fly around in Normandy when it's on the planet. So spend a bit of time doing that and enjoying the experience. Now we can collect all the reward for the expedition. And as a glitch right now, the big medal is missing. So what you're going to have to do is click where it should be. Hopefully they'll fix that in a patch and you're able to see the medal. But at the moment, just click where the medal should be. Then you'll get expedition complete, accept. Head into space, crawl in the anomaly and go inside. And go to the kiosk and transfer all the items that you want to take back to your main save. And for this expedition, you're going to get a lot of upgrades. Those are really useful in your main slave, so it's really worth doing the expedition just to have lots of them. And of course, when you finish the expedition, you'll get all the rewards transferred over to your main save. Another reason why it's worth using the kiosk to do the expeditions. And when you've clicked on Finish Expedition, remember to go back to the kiosk and collect all your stuff, and it now will be in your main save. Of course, the very last thing you have to do for this expedition, just to make sure everything's okay, is remember to get in and out of your ship to make a restore point save. I hope you liked the video, and if you did, hit that like and subscribe button, or on the bell thingy. And of course, thank you for watching. See you all later.